I'm out of podcasting shape. I really am. I was like halfway through, I think. I was going, shit. I was calling on like the weight room, summoning the weight room mentality of like, okay, push through this here.
Obviously, your book was inspired by War of Art and Turning Pro.
Yep. The Creative Act, Rick Rubin.
Yeah, very good.
Marcus Aurelius' Meditations. In a lot of ways, Mind Gym from Gary Mack.
Okay.
That was the only manual that I had. It was on sports psychology.
Have you read Pressfield's The Warrior Ethos?
No.
I think you would like that one. It's like the War of Art, but it's like mostly for people in the military, but it's really good.
Incredible.
That one's good. I don't have any signed ones. Sometimes he signs them.
A book that I'm reading now that I love is Unreasonable Hospitality.
Oh yeah, Will Guidara.
Yeah.
That one's good. I think we have setting. Have you read?
The Hard Thing About Hard Things.
That one's good. If you like, do we have Setting the Table?
I went on a
Have you read? If you
journey.
like Unreasonable Hospitality, you should read this.
Went on a long journey.
That's Danny Meyer's book. Shake Shack, 11 Madison Park, like the greatest restaurateur ever, maybe.
Yeah.
That one's really good.
Yeah. No, I haven't read this one. So I went on this long journey probably 7 years ago, and just like a hike along the Appalachian, and listened to The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck.
That's good. He's coming on Monday.
Yeah, he's great. That was awesome.
What else have you read or not read?
I haven't read a lot, so I like where this is going.
Have you read Cal Newport?
Have I read what?
Cal Newport?
No.
He was here yesterday. Have you read Deep Work?
No.
That book's incredible.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
God, great title too, isn't it?
Oh, it's so good. He's awesome. His point is that, so most people these days are what you would call a knowledge worker, right? You're not physically doing things with your hands. Your job is to think. So how much uninterrupted the muscle then is how good you are at uninterrupted periods of focus or intention. Can you read however many pages a day you need to read? Can you sit down and actually think about what you should do in a given scenario? And so it's all about that ability to do deep work, which most of us are extremely bad at. And it's extremely hard in a world that's very noisy and busy.
That's what I liked about Tim Ferriss's 4-Hour Work Week, is that it was, sort of like a double entendre, like convincing people that they could get by with just working 4 hours a week, but it was actually about getting 40 hours of work out of 4 hours.
Yes.
If you're doing a lot of this deep work.
The truth is most people actually are only working 4 hours a week. They're just showing up for a lot more of them. And so what's the point?
Yeah. Or you can do 4-hour blocks every day and crush it.
Yes.
Do 6 weeks of work.
Yeah, imagine if you actually worked for 40 hours a week, what you would get done.
Yeah, or you figure out AI. You have any books on AI?
I do not.
I'm just kidding. I loved Contagious. I love Range.
Yeah, those are good.
I love Sapiens. I come back to that quite a bit. I haven't read Talking to Strangers. I love Blink.
Talking to Strangers is really good.
Yeah. Tools of Titans. Mentioned Hard Thing About Hard Things.
Have you read Die with Zero?
What is it?
Die with Zero?
No.
Bill Curtis. Read that. Grab that.
No, I haven't.
Good.
Read 0 to 1.
0 to 1 is also very good.
Yeah.
No, Die with Zero is basically the idea is like, sort of, what are you earning all this for? What are you accomplishing all of this for? Is it to have some giant monument that gets split up to your kids when you die? And so he's just thinking about money and success differently. And it's kind of like Peter Attia's stuff. Like, what do you want the last years of your life to look like also?
Yeah.
So why are you always deferring for some magical future when actually you'll be too old to enjoy it?
Right.
It's really good.
And everyone forgets you anyway.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, you were an asshole, you were self-involved, you worked too much, and then you finally do retire, but you have no one and you have nothing except for the trophies or whatever.
You just never know, man. It's just like the counterpoint to that I've heard is like, well, then become a musician or an artist, because their work carries on more than any other industry. But the other side of it is like,
enjoy that.
Van Gogh never sold a painting.
Yeah, it's true.
And if it wasn't for his brother's wife, who was hell-bent on taking all of his work into galleries, we would never know his name.
But also, yeah, it's not like Van Gogh's sitting around being like, and it was all worth it.
Yeah, I know.
That I'm appreciated hundreds of years after my death. You know, like and someone told me like legacy's not for you. Like you can't. It doesn't do anything for Melville that we still read Moby Dick. Like he's dead.
Yeah.
You know, which isn't to say the thing is how do you get appreciated now? But it's like if you're not enjoying it while you're doing it, then that sucks.
That sucks.
Yeah.
And, you could be Van Gogh reincarnated, man.
Maybe.
You could be. We could be. All of us.
I'm writing about this now. So Patton had this, it's in the movie, but it was a real thing. He had this sense of deja vu. He was like, oh, I was like here when I was a boy. And he would like describe, there's this scene he's at the Battle of the Wilderness, which was 20, 30 years before he was born. And he's standing there and he's like, I was here as a boy. He's like, he was here and this general was here and we went down this way. And the guy's like, what are you talking about? He's like, I have it in this book. That's not even how it went.
Yeah.
And this old man goes, no. I actually was here as a boy. And that's exactly how it was. Like this actual Civil War veteran. And so Patton claimed he was this reincarnation of like all these generations of warriors. Maybe he was. I don't know. I don't want to like step on anyone's sort of spiritual beliefs. But what was actually happening is that from a very young age, he was dyslexic. So his father just takes him out of school and just reads to him constantly. So he reads it's from a very early age, he's being steeped in like military lore and military history. Just he's read every book you could possibly imagine. And so his deja vu is that he was there. He just read about it and heard about it 1,000 times, and eventually it worms his way into his subconscious, so he has this lived experience of having gone through things that he never went through, which is what books are. Books are how you live the life of a Viking. It's how you live the life of the Civil War general. It's how you live the life of some athlete who you didn't even get to watch on TV, because like you can read Bill Russell. If you open your book with Bill Russell, it's like you can read that and it's like you were there.
Yeah.
And so that's what you get by reading, is this sort of, you add this enormous amount of experience into your life. And if you really read and you really put yourself into it and it becomes like a spiritual practice, like it sort of melds into your soul.
It's pretty interesting you say that. I hadn't thought about it. It resonates with me as an athlete. Is I can sit and watch a sport right now and see a play happening before it does.
Yes.
And it's a sport that I never played.
Yeah.
I'll go over to England and watch Chelsea at Stamford Bridge.
Yeah.
And you have fans there that have had season tickets for 70 years.
Right.
And they know the players in and out.
Yeah.
And I don't know the latest transfer window.
Yeah.
But I can see the ebb and flow of the game because I lived it so much.
Yeah, you've absorbed like sport into your over here, sports section. Yeah, it's in you, and it's transferable across domains and things.
Yeah.
So anyways, this is where your book will go when it comes out.
Amazing.
Have you read Wright Thompson? The Cost of These Dreams?
But I love that. It's one of my favorite photos.
Incredible book. Like maybe the greatest sports book of all time.
Really?
He's maybe the greatest sports writer living. But so he did that crazy profile of Jordan at 50.
Yeah.
He's the one that did the Tiger Woods piece about him wanting to be a Navy SEAL and how it sort of blew up his life. So his point is that like it's all about the cost of greatness. And
how long does it take someone like Wright Thompson to take on a book? Do you know?
That's probably so. That's not that's like 20 years of reporting. Okay. So that's like all his best articles.
Let's go to the Tiger and Jordan books then.
I don't know. I mean, the Tiger book is great. I think for a journalist, it's all the reporting out of the thing. The writing is probably not the hardest part. But have you read Bosch's book?
Yes.
I did that one. That one's fun.
Yeah.
Have you read A Sense of Where You Are by John McPhee?
No.
So John McPhee's a writing professor at Princeton. He's like 90 now. He's actually, Tim Ferriss took a class with him when he was at Princeton.
Yeah.
It's about Bill Bradley at Princeton. Before he goes, like no one would have known he would go on to be such a dominant basketball player and then a senator. But it's all about what made Bill Bradley so amazing. It's an incredible sports.
Wow,
book.
that's so cool.
Fucking good. And then he has a book all about oranges that shouldn't be good. That's incredible. He has a book about like rivers that shouldn't be good. That's incredible. And then he also wrote, have you read Levels of the Game?
Yeah.
That's about Arthur Ashe.
Yeah.
So
he's prolific.
Amazing.
This is a great
That's
book.
so good. Such a good title too.
Yeah.
Sacred Hoops is good also.
Yep.
Are you doing Rich Roll's show?
I'm not sure yet.
You should.
I know. I'd love to.
Text him. Here, I'll take a picture with it, and then I'll send it to him. Hold on. Here's my phone.
I grabbed a coffee with him
You did?
right before the pandemic.
Oh,
Because
funny.
he grew up in the same market as me. He grew up in just outside of D.C. in Maryland.
what's
and he
funny
went to
is-
Landon. So we were vibing on high school private schools in Maryland.
His dad is a World War II historian, and his dad is coming out to be on the show in a couple weeks.
Rich is incredible. So anyway, we booked a podcast, and then we
Man,
had
the
to
pandemic.
push it
now it's
because
perfect. Now
of the
you can do a good
pandemic. Yeah.
No, he's the best.
Yeah. What else caught my eye that I really enjoyed? Obviously, Captain's Class.
Have you read The
like
Way of
that.
Baseball?
The Way of Baseball, yeah.
That's really good.
So good. But you have a great sports collection. I love that.
Yeah, this section doesn't move. These are all like my favorites.
Yeah. I figured it doesn't move as much because it's usually a smaller section in my favorite bookstores.
Yeah.
Like, where's sports? Like, upstairs,
it's
back to the
usually
left.
like 10 books, and they're all like coaches' memoirs or like athlete memoirs.
Anything that you have read lately that you adore? Shoe Dog's so good.
Yes, she does.
Have you read The Way Forward by Diego Perez yet?
No. What's that?
So he's one of my favorite authors. He goes by Young Pueblo.
Oh yeah, he came out. Did he come out or was he remote? No, he's great. I like him.
He's fantastic.
The poet.
Yeah, and it's similar style. Like I think this stylistically, Marcus Aurelius's Meditations, The War of Art, Inward, or now The Way Forward by Young Pueblo, and then when I was in the thick of writing this thing, Rick Rubin's The Creative Act came out.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy shit, this is what I'm hoping to accomplish in sports, what he did in the creative field.
Neil Strauss did that book. The Creative Act is really good.
It's just so good, yeah. I've bought it for so many people.
It's really good.
It's starting to creep up on Stillness is the Key.
Have you read Daily Rituals? We were talking about morning routines. You read that?
Yeah, I've read that. I was looking at that title. I was like, is that a green title?
No, there's a women's version. It's just women's
really?
routines. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Cast, so good.
Yes.
Did you watch the film?
No. Is it cast
It's called
or case?
Origins. I'm told cast, but it's just
I don't know.
it all
I've
varies,
never heard
right?
of it.
It's like can versus con. Yeah, it's just
Well, that's
really
great.
like
I think that, yes, agreed.
yeah, well, exactly. So you tend to go the pronunciation of the orange. I remember you sent me this Genghis Khan.
That looks good.
Fabulous. I was thinking about taking it either in direction your note over there in Genghis Khan or 5-MeO DMT when I was like, you probably have Van Gogh in you. Yeah. I mean, surely, right? Like, we've been on our Homo sapiens have been sort of roaming for 15,000 years, maybe 10,000 years.
Here?
Yeah,
Yeah.
on this planet. Dinosaurs roamed for 150 million.
Yeah.
So I just think, like, what are we talking about? The world's been around for 4 billion
Yeah.
years. We take ourselves too seriously.
That's true. I read a lot. It's sort of my job. You can't write without reading. For almost 15 years now, once a month, I send out an email with my favorite book recommendations for that month. Books that I've been reading, books that I've been going through, books that changed my life, that inspired me, that I think connect to what's happening in the world. And you can sign up right now at ryanholiday.net/reading list.